Hello there guys, my name is Jay or DA and welcome back to another episode of the Old Norse Shipyard. Now, this item really isn't a ship. I know that, you know that. I'm not pulling the wool over your eyes, honestly. It's not a transformer. But basically, after the Kiyashi build that I showed to you guys on Wednesday, I really got inspired to build something. So 2 hours after that, I ended up with this and basically built my own pod because I said that I really could make something like this as well, but with the additional mods I thought it could be a lot better, and it turned out better than expected, to be honest. And this is basically what I've produced. This is the Dome version 1 because I really want to work on some more variants of it with maybe some production facilities, because this is very much like Kiyashi's in the aspect that it doesn't have an assembler or a refinery or an arc furnace. It just has the means to produce oxygen and hydrogen and power, and that is really it. So it's just, again, a living space that is very comfortable and can suit 2 people, preferably a couple, being as it is a double bed, but you could probably opt in a bunk bed or something. But yeah, so this is it. So on the outside we've got just a lot of glass and very minimalist on the walls. I didn't want to put too many walls in this thing and make it too cramped or crowded. So I tried to put as much windows in as possible, making it so that you can see in most places. And then we've got this giant hydrogen tank sticking out the side, which again is useful for refilling ships. I put my connector facing upwards because I figured most ships that would use hydrogen would be floating, not cars, because my rover doesn't run on hydrogen thrusters, it's purely Atmos. So I just went with the connector on the top for floating vehicles. I figured it made more sense. And then I've got 2 air vents that basically suck in air, and basically those fill up the oxygen tanks for this. Of course, if you're on another planet, you wouldn't have that feature, and you could get rid of them. And so you know what I mean. It's one of them things. It's like a thing that you either have on or off, and it's very adaptable. This thing, to be honest, it can work in multiple environments. So we do have an antenna on the top as well, so we can get in touch with people, and it is a very nice antenna provided by Azimuth, which is Tumble TV, and this is probably the best sort of solution. It just looks very pretty and does the job, and isn't too big either. It's 2 blocks, 2 by 1, and rather than the 2 by whatever it is, 2 by 50 million blocks or whatever. So yeah, let's get inside. So inspired by Kiyashi's and Grand Designs, I opted for this very sort of grand entrance, making it look very pretty, and so you can see most things as you walk on in. I've put a number on top of this as well, like a door number, like we have in modern society, where each house has its own number on a street or a road or whatever. And I've just wanted to implement something like this because I thought it would be cool if you were to have like a string of these houses, to colonize a place, and you could number your house appropriately, so no house is the same. So as we come through, we have these lovely glass doors which we can just open up. And again, I opted for as much glass as possible to let as much light in as possible, because I didn't want to be utilising lights too much, because if I made this thing like a prison, you'd have to use lights, and those suck up power, and of course you don't want to really sucking up too much power, because you want to be saving as much as it to charge up batteries for the night time. So I've tried to make it as minimalist as possible in terms of power usage. So as we come through, we have a lovely living area over here with some chairs and a coffee table, and just like a lovely screen up there so you can watch TV or whatever. We've got a bit of storage racking up here, as well as a med bay. Now Kiyashi's used vanilla blocks, so the med bay was 3 blocks. I'll just actually, if you guys don't already know, it's like this big, which is a lot of space to take up, and it would stop me from placing a few blocks, which was a bit of an issue, and it also caused a few issues with the pressurization in this room. So going with a 1 by 1 block med bay was just perfect, and I believe this is the DK med bay, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but it does the job. It does both things. You can change your skin or whatever, and you can heal as well as get hydrogen and oxygen, as it is hooked up to the hydrogen and oxygen systems. So it does the same job, it's just very small. Then what we have is under here we have 5 batteries which are on semi-auto, so they will get charged up if they need to, and when they are fully charged they will wait until you need power, and then they'll discharge the power to you, which is really good. Again, very, very beneficial to have these. And again, I've took them underneath, saving as much space as possible by putting these plates on top, because I didn't want to show them off. I wanted them to be hidden under here, and then if you did need to maintenance them, just take the floor plate off, maintenance them, and then, you know, continue. So yeah, we have one air vent in here which easily pressurizes this whole room super quick. So if you were on a hostile planet, this could do the job, and you just have to have a button outside that depressurized the whole room and then re-pressurized it when you went inside. We then have a storage crate over here, which is not hooked up to the actual system. It's on its own, so this is just personal storage for tools and whatnot. We then have a kitchen, which is just the TSVI, I believe it is. Where is it? TVSI Tech, which is a very, very nice mod. I would say one thing, you have to tweak with the colours a little bit to get the colours to match up, because the colour of the blocks on here is actually darker on these blocks for some reason. It's something to do with the hue and stuff, but I worked around that and managed to get them to some sort of similar colour. We then have some buttons, which the two lights, that light and that light, both turn on as daylights, so you have a switch to turn them on and off. So they're on at the moment. You can't really notice because there is that much light being pushed through this building that it's very hard to see the difference. And then we have a night light, which is just like a safety light, which you can see. It's very visible, and that's just so if anything were to happen within the night, you can get out and you're not stumbling around in the pitch black to get outside to fight off enemies or whatever. So yeah, it's a pretty cool room in all fairness. I like how open plan it is. You got, you know, the different areas and the different things you would require all here. Only thing I haven't got is a toilet, but I think you could probably go au naturel outside and just dig a hole or whatever. So let's not bother with that. I know toilets are a big thing for me, but I couldn't fit it into this build because it needed to be its own room. So as we open this door, we go into the bedroom, which, as I said, is a double bed, so it would be preferably couples, or you could convert it to a bunk bed or something, so you could get multiple people sleeping in here. And yeah, we've got some shelving, another light which has the light controls up here, and then some chest of drawers just so you can store stuff. And a very, very, very nice view of the ceiling, so you can actually look up when you're asleep. And then you've got this lovely view of outside, and I wanted to make this room as airy as possible because you'd love to, you know, imagine waking up to this. It's just gorgeous. So that is basically my dome version 1. Now, again, it was heavily inspired by Kiyashi's stuff, and I was very intrigued by it, and I did enjoy that build, to be honest. I did enjoy going around it because it's something different, and it adds to the immersion of the game, to be honest. And this is something I think people are... I already know a few of you guys have built some of these in the past, but I'm hoping you guys like the style and all the bits and bobs I've added to this one. And I know there's no production elements within it, but I'll hopefully work on a bigger version that has the same sort of features, but just with a bit extra on the end, if that makes sense. So if you guys have enjoyed this build, please check it out on the Steam Workshop. It is available now. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, favorite, and of course subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!